On the day of release of Varlamore Part 2, we headed over to the new area and did some of the new quests, including the new murder mystery quest, Death on the Isle. As always with the newer quests on Old School RuneScape, we went in totally guideless and just experienced it firsthand. I did some voices for some of the different characters in this quest, so hopefully you enjoy it. There's a lot of spice in this quest, I've got to say. A lot of spice, and I think you'll enjoy it. I'm assuming we talked to Patsy. Good day. I don't suppose I could trouble you for the briefest of moments? Good day to you. I could consider being troubled for the right reasons. How does access to a rather fancy party sound like a motivator? I do like a party. Yeah, do like a party. Well, as long as I actually get to enjoy it. I'm sure I can also rustle up some payment to encourage you if you have any reservations. You may even find some exciting opportunities inside, given the presence of some of the Aladdin's wealthiest... Oh, sorry, Aldarans? I need to put my glasses on. You even find some exciting opportunities inside, given the presence of some of Aldarin's wealthiest citizens. So, if you're going to this party, would you also be one of Aldarin's wealthiest citizens? Alas, I am, quite unfortunately, not rich in money. What I do possess is a certain wealth of talent. For you see, I am an actor. Patsy the Grand, they call me, eventually. They call me Alilia. Just Alilia. So if you're not rich in money, how am I supposed to get paid, assuming I agree to help you with whatever it is that you want? Putting words, but you need not worry. While you won't be getting paid up front, I have a great feeling that if all goes well, I will soon find myself with more than enough wealth to handsomely reward you. And besides, if nothing else, I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time at the party. I suppose I could do with letting my hair down a little. All right, I'm in. Wonderful. So, whose party are we going to? Well, that's complicated. You don't know? Where the accent? Okay, sorry. Sometimes a man has to follow his heart on a second-hand invitation saying there's a party to Villa Lucens tonight. Yes, the villa is home to an almighty patron of the arts. He even has his own theatre atop the cliffs behind the villa. In fact, the whole reason for this party is because he's showing his new play. And yet you don't actually know who he is? This opportunity came about quite suddenly. As such, I'm unfortunately not as prepared as I otherwise would be. However, an actor like me can't turn down the chance to meet with a man like him. Not to mention a chance to enjoy a good party. Oh wait, that was a different person. Oops. Well said, Adala. Oh, that reminds me, Alilia. This is Adala. She's helping me out today. If you have her, why did you need me? She advertised herself as a bag carrier, so she's here to move my bag around. There's a lot of costumes and props that I travel with, so it's nice to have someone else to carry them. I'm not going to say no to a fancy party, even as the help. As for your part in all of this, Lilia, with this being a fancy party and all, I happen to need a butler to help fit in. You know, serving me wine and tending to my needs. Fancy suit and all? Right, so I actually don't get to enjoy the party at all, do I? Oh, I'm sure you will. You'll just have to add a little here and there. I see. You mentioned a fancy suit. You wouldn't happen to have a butler outfit in that bag you mentioned. I don't believe I do. I don't really take roles like that these days. Well, in that case, any idea where I might get one, preferably free of charge. Lots of villas around here will have butlers, and butlers mean uniforms. Are you suggesting I steal one? I suppose you could always put it back once you're done. Maybe I should add a butler's uniform to my vast array of costumes after all. I doubt they'll even realise. Anyway, I remember seeing some uniforms through a window on the way over here. They were in the villa to the north. Right, I guess I'm off to find the uniforms then. Villa to the north. Is this a villa? This looks kind of villa-ish, doesn't it? Should we enter through the window? Oh, okay. Well, that was good. Okay, we now have a butler's uniform. I look very fetching. I see you've managed to find a uniform. I have indeed. You must have a good eye to have seen them through the window as you walked by. It was a bit of a lucky spot, I must admit. Lucky indeed. It's almost like you were specifically looking for them. Just good fortune. Now I ought to move on and get this bag inside. Oh, she's in a rush, isn't she? Given the size of your bag, I'm not sure she's rushing anywhere. Well, she sets a good example. I'm trying to do him like slightly posh and deep voice, you know, husky. You should probably be heading on in your cell. I'm guessing the entrance is just up these stairs. The guest entrance is, yes. You'll have to go in through the staff entrance, unfortunately. I can't be seen entering with the help. The help? Sorry, just getting into character. Head butler? I'm assuming the head butler is who I need to speak to. Oh, Nissal to you. I wasn't expecting anyone else. Sorry, there was a bit of a hold-up. I'm quite new to this. A hold-up? Nothing bad, I hope. I've known people to have problems with their employers before. Is yours treating you well? He seems friendly enough. I'm still not sure if I'm getting paid, though. Tetamo! Oh dear, oh dear. Are you part of a union? I don't remember joining one. I probably should with the varied working conditions I go through. We have a fantastic one here on Alderin if you're interested. I can't say discussions are effective, but sometimes the wealthy do come to the table. I think this one-time gig for me, but thank you. Very well. In that case, there are just a few quick admin bits to go through before I let you in. First and foremost, butlers must keep their uniforms and masks on at all times. If you are seen without yours, you'll be ejected from the party. Got it. No taking off my uniform. Now, for security purposes, butlers are required to enter and leave with completely empty pockets. We'll hold on to anything you need us to whilst you're in there. Got it. Nothing in and nothing out. Right, I think that covers everything. Are you ready to enter? Yeah, fuck it. Take all my runes. Good. We'll hold on to any items you have whilst you're in there. Oh damn, look at my posture. Look at that. Let's walk. We don't want to look suspicious. Very not suspicious. Very normal. Oh, there's a dog. There's a smart looking dog, in fact. It looks kind of cat-like for a dog. It's got a cat's face, I think. Come back here, dog. Oh no, it's just got glasses on. Why is this dog wearing glasses? It's also wearing like a nose and a mustache. That's hilarious. You made it in, and don't you look the part? Magnificent. I feel like a court jester, and not for the first time either. Nonsense. Now, why don't you go and introduce yourself to our host and the other guests? I could do with knowing a little bit more about everyone. Hang on, I'm meant to be an anonymous butler. How do you expect me to get to know people for you? I'm sure you can get their names at least. That will give me something to work with. Okay, anything else I can do for you? Especially things you could easily do for yourself? No, I think you're doing more than enough right now. Thank you. He's not wrong. I am doing more than enough. Okay, let's talk to Kozyak. Good day, sir. Sir, I thought I'd left that behind when I retired. Please call me Kozyak. Absolutely, Kozyak. You can call me... I seem to remember one of the rules of this party was that the staff were to remain anonymous. You can't call me then. Are you enjoying this party? I am, yes. Though I am far more excited for tonight's performance. Constantinius says he's hired some of the finest actors for this one. Excuse me, you there. Hi there, how can I be of service? I could do with another drink. Do you have a preference? Wine or something non-alcoholic? Alcoholic? I'll have you know that I'm Paro. I'm most certainly not an alcoholic. Now, scram. Let's talk to this person. Good day to you. Nisal to you as well. You seem different to the other staff here. First time? It is. How could you tell? You see similar things on boats, but people look a bit wobbly until they settle. Do you spend a lot of time on boats? I run something of a shipping company. If you need it moving, got ya. Well, I don't typically find myself in need of that sort of thing, but if it ever changes, I'll keep you in mind. Okay, I think we just got that one person left to speak to. There's a lot of butlers for the amount of people here. So this is grand, isn't it? It certainly seems to be quite the event. I'd say it's one of my finest yet. Though I do wish more of the guests could have made it. However, it looks like we've gained a bit of a straggler. Yes, that slightly pompous fellow that hasn't introduced himself to anyone yet. The fact that he is here means that he must have gained an invitation, though I don't know how. Is that going to be an issue? I'm sure it won't be. I'm always open to meeting new people, especially those who enjoy the arts. Oh good, because it's actually him who I'm here with. He was very keen to meet you, even though he didn't actually know your name. I can't believe it! How could he not even know the name of his gracious host? Perhaps he's new to the island. Still, for an actor, his research seems lacking. He's an actor, you say? Ah, now that explains it, why he was so eager to be here. Well, if he's good, this might be his lucky day. I, Constantius, am in the market for a new actor or sponsor. Well, you know actors, very profitable once they're popular. Oh, he's sponsoring him, sorry. Not he's looking for a sponsor. He's sponsoring an actor, my bad. I like to make investments. For example, I sponsored tonight's lead actor, Livius, for some time. He's done very well for himself and for me, though he's almost too expensive for me these days. Anyway, perhaps you'll see him on stage tonight. I saw you make your way around the party. So then, who's who? So we've got Pavo the drunk over there. I'm not sure there's much to them other than their love of drinking. Zokla, who seems to be a bit more relaxed. It seems that she runs a shipping business. Last of all, for the guests, we have Kozyak, quite up on the rules of the party, so he may not be that happy that you weren't properly invited. Oofed, invited? I have an invitation, and I can act like I belong here. He'll never know. He might not, but our host Constantius does. Ah, luckily he didn't actually seem to mind you being here too much. Apparently he's actually looking for a new actor to sponsor. Sponsoring me? How marvelous. Oh, I think I should go have a drink to celebrate. Could you be a dear and go into the wine cellar for me? What would you like from the wine cellar? A beer? Whilst that sounds lovely, I've heard there's some Precipum Red down there. It's not produced anymore, so I'd rather hard to find. But our generous host seems happy enough to share. I feel like I probably shouldn't be going into the wine cellar. What are we getting from down here then? Wine. Investigate antique wine? That probably seems about right. Pre-pum. The label's faded, but I'm sure this is the wine Patsy was talking about. Oh no! You're suddenly startled by the sound of a glass shattering in another part of the cellar, causing you to spill some of the wine on yourself. What? Oh, that's going to stain, is it? I mean, I'm wearing red anyway, though. It's just surely not that bad. I think I can live with it. Who can we find? Oh! Check on man! We can probably run now we're down here. We don't have to be presentable anymore. Don't have to try and blend in. There's no one here to blend in for. Is everything okay? Hello? Have you had too much to drink? You there! Don't move! What the? You're coming with us! Uh-oh. It's always the butler, isn't it? Who said that yesterday? Someone literally said that in chat yesterday. Now, Stradius. We don't know for sure what they did. Sorry. Now, Stradius. We don't know for sure they did it. It looks likely, though. Did what exactly? Murder! Stradius! What? It was my turn to level the accusation of a suspect. How often do we get to handle a murderer? You have to respect the system we have, Stradius. I'm still here in case you forgot. So, murder? Interesting choice at a party full of wealthy people, wouldn't you say? Poor Livius. He wasn't acting this time. But I didn't kill anyone. You just happened to be found standing in a closed room near the dead body, with bloodstains on your clothes, no less. The red stains on your uniform, the victim's blood, I'm sure of it. You found me in a wine cellar and you wouldn't even consider that it might be wine? I suppose I could try tasting it. Stradius, what if it's blood? Well, then it won't taste like wine, will it? I love this. He's like, oh, it could be wine. I'll lick it. That seems like an appropriate reaction. You're going to wait right here until you answer some questions. You wouldn't believe me if I said I didn't do this. We'll consider it. Will we? We will. But first, questions. Why were you down in that cellar? I was looking for wine. Princium Red. Patsy sent me to get some for him to drink. I just happened to hear a commotion and thought someone might have been hurt. So you were trying to help? Yes. Honestly, I'm sold. Easy. Best interview I've ever done. Stradius. Yes, sorry. I'm afraid we can't just let you go, not without an investigation. Not to mention, given our whole job here was to stop anything bad happening at this party, we're not really doing so well right now. We'll look even more ineffective if we don't have a suspect. Could be a career ender, really. Quite. Okay, well, much like I didn't kill that man, I suppose I don't want to hurt your careers. Maybe I could catch the killer. You don't have any relevant qualifications? Wait, are we meant to have? After all, training to be a butler must have taken a long time. But I'm not even a butler, I'm hired to act like one. Right now, we have to put murder on the table. Who are you? I'm just Adelia. I got hired by Patsy to be a butler for this evening, alongside a lady called Adala. In fact, where is Adala? That's a good point. Where is Adala? I don't think any of these are Adala. Adala? Do we know an Adala? Yes, I believe she's accounted for. You ran into her? She came in shortly after we arrested you. Her friend Patsy mentioned you'd been sorting out some of his costumes. You mean she was only accounted for after the murder took place? Why do I get the feeling we're not doing a good job of actually investigating this? It isn't just you. Again, maybe I could be an extra pair of hands here. Have a potential suspect investigate the murder? It wouldn't be orthodox, but it might work. I'm not sure I like the implication that we can't solve it ourselves. I agree, but we're not actually very qualified for this. We normally just guard drunk people and not solve murders. Okay, so we're helping out, cool. Just spam through the rest of this. They're very chatty boys. I guess I need to investigate. Do I go back down to investigate? Okay, investigate broken pottery. So there might have been a fight. There's also an extra room in here. I wonder if there's a way to get through to it. Oh no, there's a separate set of stairs. I'm guessing that's part of the stage thingy at the back. Let's inspect the dead body. A few cuts and scrapes, no stab wound, poison perhaps. Ooh. Considering how full someone's been drinking from it. Ooh. Ooh, there's a jug hidden in the corner. Can I investigate anything over here? No. Oh, what is that random small box doing on the floor? It appears there is a small box of wine labels. I suppose they should really like to keep things really well organized. What, by storing a box on the floor in the middle of the floor? That doesn't seem that well organized, does it? Okay, we can't investigate that anymore. We can, however, investigate this broken stool. It doesn't look like there's anything else that needs investigating here. Case file. Clues. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? I got arrested for murder because you sent me into that cellar. You did at least manage to find what I sent you down there for. The Princian bread? Of course. Constantius has a nice large container of it. However, I'm not sure that's the most... Ah, Adala, you are right. What self-respecting man would have a wine cellar without such a historic wine in it? It's a shame we were locked down up here. I'd love to try it. I came so close to. If it weren't for that actor. Are you blaming Livius for his own murder? Of course not. I'm just ruling a mischance to try that wine. You know, it's a surprisingly sobering moment when someone's murdered beneath your feet. I started trying to do it in like a slurry voice, and then it was like, oh, I'm surprisingly sober, or it's surprisingly sobering. And I'm like, oh, maybe she's not drunk right now. Did you know him well? We were once drinking fellows. The things I've seen him drink without even breaking a sweat. Did you drink with him today? I don't remember. It seems like I would have though. He never liked to prepare for a performance without at least a small drink. Assuming you did, where would you have had a drink with him? Probably down in the cellar. That was always where he preferred to go. So you admit that you may well have been down there with him today. Do you think something might have happened whilst you were drinking? I'd like to think that I would remember something so terrible happening in front of my eyes. And yet you can't actually remember if you've been drinking with him. Oh, that's a good point. In that case, I don't know. Good. Our list of suspects is strong so far. Oh, poor Livius. Where am I to find another actor of his caliber? Was he by any chance the one of the ones you mentioned earlier, the one who was starting to get a bit too expensive for you? Oh, Lilia accusing the man of the house, of all things. I may have had some quibbles with how expensive his performances were, but he always made a profit. I can only hope his understudy is capable of filling the gap that's going to be left. Spicy though, as an understudy. Livius always kept her in the shadows, though he did say that she was nearly ready for a leading role of her own. Quite an unfortunate turn of events, isn't it? I'm not sure it's unfortunate so much as a tragedy, surely. Well, I believe the play was actually intended to be a comedy. I'm hopeful that they have an understudy who can fill in for today. The play's still going ahead? Are we just going to ignore that man was murdered? I'd much rather not think about it personally. Okay, so Livius wasn't a customer of yours then. Would he have a reason to have been? Actors seem to have a lot of costumes to move around the place. Maybe a shipping magnate such as yourself would make good money off them. I'm afraid I can't help you there. Good tip about the actors though. I'll have to visit the College of Bards next time I'm in Tempestus. Oh dear. We've just given her a new target market. Whoopsie daisies. We've talked to both these, we've talked to these. Yeah, let's try talking to the guards now. Can you give me any tips for this investigation? You want to have a look down in the wine cellar, I imagine. We made sure that nobody wants to be down there, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Do you think you can pin down a suspect? I'm not sure. Oddly enough, no one is admitting to having done it. And given they were all here together, I'm pretty sure they'd have to be each other's alibis. What if they hired someone to do it for them? Stradius, that's actually a good point. Maybe the butlers? You mean more of them might be fake like you? Well, thanks to the masks and uniforms, they're all anonymous. It's very hard to keep track of how many there are. It's true, there are a huge amount of them. Have we been keeping tabs on all of the butlers? What if not one's escaped? The killer might already be in the wind. Both of you are missing that there's no windows in which they could have left that cellar. Ah yes, we came down, we heard the commotion. They wouldn't have been able to get out before then. It seems we're back to square one again, Lilia, unless you can think of anything else to investigate. I could try stealing from the suspects. Perhaps one of them will be carrying something incriminating. You probably shouldn't mention that in front of us. I suppose you can always try and return things to them later. Okay, so now we're pickpocketing everybody. Good. Adala has some wine labels. I told you. We know it's her. It's definitely her. Unless she... Or Pavo. I think Pavo might be the understudy. Ooh, a drinking flask from Pavo's pocket. I suppose that's not surprising. Oh, okay. Yeah, not spicy, I guess. Unless it's poisoned. Okay, shipping contract makes sense as well. Okay, so we have wine labels. They look very similar to the ones on the jugs on Constantius's cellar. The letter is from Kozyak to Livius. It describes an outstanding debt. Kozyak was owed money by Livius. Spicy. The drinking flask is a flask for holding alcohol. There is a small amount of liquid in the bottom, but you can't tell what it is. And then the shipping contract. The contract is between Livius and... She said she didn't know him. She's a liar. I've had a look through some pockets. I think all of the guests might be lying. All of them. Well, maybe not Pavo. They just had this old drinking flask. Zoktla and Kozyak, on the other hand, both had things on them that revealed they had direct dealings with Livius. Here, look what I found for yourselves. Interesting. What about these labels? I found them on Adala. She's the one who wasn't accounted for when the murder took place, right? That's right. She's the one that came here with Patsy. Like Lilia here, we're both were uninvited. Uninvited or not invited, I suppose. Perhaps one of them is responsible, or indeed both of them. It's possible, I suppose, but Patsy doesn't seem capable of pulling this off. It seems we don't have anything conclusive. Oh, we're doing that thing again like we did in the last quest in this area, where it was like we lined up all of the guards and then one of them got killed. That wasn't a good day. That was pretty bad. Let's do that. Let's do that again, I suppose. Who do you reckon it's going to be? Everybody votes in chat. Who do you think is the murderer? You bet it's the actor. So you think it's this guy? You admit it and you do it again, Chris Carp. Nice. It's this bit's up to you and Lilia. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I guess we just go through one at a time. Patsy, Adala. The two of you weren't even invited to this party. Nor were you. But being here presented a huge opportunity for an up-and-coming actor like Patsy. A huge opportunity indeed. You already knew that Constantius was thinking about sponsoring a new actor. Perhaps she decided to speed things along by removing the competition. But why would I need to remove the competition if he was already open to sponsoring me anyway? That doesn't make sense. Perhaps, and indeed it is true that you could have been present at the time of the murder. You never left the party. In fact, you sent me down to the cellar for you, didn't you? So you're saying that you're actually more likely to be guilty yourself? Exactly. What? Sending me down there made me look guilty. A perfect way of drawing attention away from the true culprits. But that would be a terrible plan. You were here with us. Which leads me to you, Adala. Patsy was accounted for when the murder took place, but you were not. Care to tell us what you were up to? I took Patsy's bag to the backstage area, spent some time chatting to the actors, and then made my way to the party. So you never entered the wine cellar? No. Wine labels from Constantius's cellar found on your person. Care to explain? I just found them on the floor. It's bad manners not to pick up litter. What a convenient excuse. Accuse Adala. Perhaps you should make... oh, okay, I have to answer more questions. I have to speak to more people and accuse them before I'm fully like, Adala, it was you. It was you. Although I do think it was her. Constantius, you knew Livius well, didn't you? I'd sponsored him for years, yes. How was that sponsorship working out for you? Well, I can't say I was profiting from it, although I do admit he'd become a little excessive with his spending in recent times. You'd almost benefit from him being out of the way, letting you find someone new to sponsor. The thought has crossed my mind, but he will still be profitable, and it's not like I couldn't just sponsor a second actor in addition to him anyway. Okay, let's not accuse him just yet. I don't know who we should think is the murderer, to be honest. Zoktla, you never had any dealings with Livius, have you? Of course not. So he never needed anything shipped by your company, nothing he needed to move swiftly and discreetly. Why would he? I'm sure he's got more than enough solutions for moving his costumes around. We present the shipping contract. Care to explain this, Zoktla? That looks like a contract between myself and Livius. Good eye. Interesting how you yourself seem to not be aware of it, especially given it was you who was carrying it. All right, fine. Livius had recently contracted us to help him move some of his belongings around. He's been doing well for himself and was moving into a larger property. I needed him to sign off on a slight change in timelines, and given we were both here, I thought I might as well get it sorted. I see. Yeah, but why wouldn't she just say that? Why wouldn't she just tell us that when we first questioned her? That's what I don't understand. What makes her suspicious? Kozyak, let's see. Kozyak, did you not claim to have never interacted with Livius? I did, and I shall stand by that claim. Why are you the ones making accusations anyway? You were the one down there with him. Besides, you're just a butler. How rude. I'm not just a butler. I'm actually an actor. Stradius, the note. A note written by yourself for Livius. Seems you weren't happy with him. Not one I would have killed him over. He owed me some money and wasn't paying up. I just needed to put some pressure on him. An outstanding debt could be considered motive for murder. Everyone seems guilty. Pavo, you and Livius were drinking partners, weren't you? We were. How heavily would you say you drank together? On occasion, a little too heavily. Who provided the drinks? We tend to bring our own, although I did sometimes let him have a little extra from my flask. Your flask, huh? This flask? Yes, that's the one. I must have misplaced it. If you weren't letting Livius drink from your flask, it wouldn't have been hard for you to poison him, would it? But why would I poison a friend? That remains to be seen. Oh man, they're literally all so guilty. I think it's probably Adala or... Although I now actually think that this person's even more guilty because I can't understand why she wouldn't have just said from the offset. Oh, yeah. I did know him because I was helping him move house. It seems strange that that wouldn't be the automatic, just like, yeah, he was moving house, rather than hiding it from us. So she's now probably top of my suspect list. But then I also think Pavo's maybe guilty. I don't think Kozyak killed him over debt because otherwise she wouldn't get the money back. Let's see if this helps us make a decision, because I genuinely have no idea. Like, it could be all of them. It could be none of them. Well, it's going to be one of them, isn't it? It definitely wasn't me. Let's see who it turns out to be. This is a very official way of doing it. The most official way. Oh, okay. The wheel says Patsy. The wheel says Patsy. Patsy, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. You wanted him out of the way so you could take his place. But why? Constantinius was open to sponsoring me anyway. I didn't need to kill anyone. I think he's right, Olivia. There's no real motive here. Okay, it wasn't him. Let's go again. Who is it this time? Pavo. Pavo, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. You poisoned him when you let him drink from your flask. I would never do something like that. You have no proof. Well, the flask does still have some liquid in it. Perhaps we should have it tested. Wait, there's still some left? She downs the rest of the contents? Oh, well, I guess it's not poison then. Okay, well, it's not Pavo. There's 4 suspects left. Spare time's a charm. Let's hope, eh? Let's hope. Kozyak. Okay, let's accuse Kozyak. I actually don't think Kozyak's guilty, personally, but let's see what Kozyak has to say. Kozyak, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. He owed you a debt and was refusing to pay. Why? Why kill someone over a debt? A dead man can't repay me, so I'd have needed to actually reclaim the money before killing him, at which point I'd have no reason to kill him anyway. He makes a fair point, Lilia. Very well. I didn't think it'd be him. Right, we've got 3 suspects remaining. Definitely wasn't 3rd time's a charm. 4th time's a charm? Yeah. 4th time's a charm? Yeah, probably will be the last one. Oh, we're accusing the owner of the home. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Constantinius, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. He was getting too expensive to sponsor and you needed him gone. I wasn't tied to him. If I'd wanted to stop sponsoring him, I'd have just done that. There would have been no reason to kill him. Well, perhaps you felt a murder mystery would have helped make the party more interesting and memorable. I can't deny that it has very much enhanced this event, but you do but do you think I'd have someone killed just for a social function? I don't know. That's a fair point, and indeed, why would you kill your lead actor right before the play? You're the one accusing me and Lilia. You should have known. Okay, it wasn't him. It's a 50-50 vote now. What if it wasn't any of these guys? We still don't know who the understudy is. Zokla. Okay, I do think she's pretty suspicious, to be fair. J'accuse! Zokla, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. You pretended you didn't know him, but you lied. Yes, it may surprise you to know that I didn't want to be associated with a murder victim whilst an investigation was ongoing. I don't think that's very fair. She should have just said. It's not a fair point. Well then, that means Adala is the only one. Accuse Adala. She was the person I thought it was originally, to be honest. Adala, I believe you were responsible for the murder of Livius. All the evidence is pointing at you. You were the only person missing at the time of the murder, and despite your claims, we have clear evidence you were in that cellar. All right, fine. I admit it. I was in the cellar. Wait, what is this? The Princium Red, you fool. I could retire on the value of that wine. All I had to do was get it out of here with it. My wine! You used me. And I probably would have got away with it too if it wasn't for this. This meddling butler. This precocious butler turned investigator you hired? What happened, Adala? Did Livius interrupt your plans? Murder? What a ridiculous assertion. I may be a thief, but I'd never kill anyone. Ah! Why is she attacking me? This is rude. Should we stop this? Is it too entertaining? Relatable. This is a great boss fight. Great boss fight. 10 out of 10. Stop! You're too good for me. You win. Are you ready to confess now? High octane? Yeah, high octane. She dealt so much damage. I'm like really hurting from that, honestly. My body aches all over. I promise I didn't do it. I'm just a thief. I wasn't even strong enough to defeat you. How could I have killed Livius? I mean, with poison, this is the whole point, Adala. Either way, she's a criminal now. Come with us, Adala. You can have fun contemplating your crimes in your new cell. Who was the understudy? I'm very curious. Does this mean we can get on with tonight's play? Oh yes, we can see the understudy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That's who did it. The whodunit is the understudy, whoever that is. This music is very strange. Sorry, Jagex creators. It's lovely music. Good job. Very nice. Enjoyable and stuff. With Adala dealt with Constantinius, I don't know why I can't get his name out, decided to go ahead with the play. As we don't know if Adala was guilty, I'll need to continue my investigation. Constantinius doesn't want any disruptions, so I'll need to use the cliffside path south of the villa to reach the theatre. Ah, okay. Ah, there you are, Aurelia. So what's the plan? Well, we don't really have one, but the play's about to start, and we might have a killer on the loose. Oh, good. I guess it's time to fix that. The stairs over there will lead to backstage. Ooh, yes, we can finally find out who the understudy is. Costumer. Oh, costumer. Costumer. Is that what the... Nissal, are you the one that's trying to find Livius's killer? That's right, so I'm guessing... Jordan down here. If you think I have any actual control in here, you'd be sorely mistaken. I don't think anyone could keep these actors in line. They're a dramatic bunch. Play was starting as we speak. They'll all be up in the theatre. Right, well, in that case, I'd better get to it. I'd like to have a look down here. Maybe hopefully I can find some sort of clue as to how he died. Okay. I thought we kind of decided that it was poison. Search costume rack. Natali. Yeah, I thought we decided that he died of poison, so I'm a bit confused why that's not the case now. But search crate. We found a crate full of poison. So he definitely did die of poison. There's a secret passage. I knew it. I knew it. Can you... Oh, wait. What is the crate of poison for? Ah, that was a gift from Constantinius. We were having a bit of a rat problem, so he gave us poison to deal with them. It seems one of the costumes has a stain on it. A stain? Yes, a wine stain. Apparently the costume belongs to Natali. Is there any reason the costume would be stained? No, none of her characters have any interaction with wine. Do you have any wine backstage? Well, the actors do often like to have a drink after a play, but I always ask that they do it outside as not to risk any damage to the costumes. Did you know there was a hidden passage? A passage? I had no idea, but I suppose it's not too surprising. It's an old villa. Apparently it once played a role in some smuggling operations a long time ago. I could see them having a few secrets to help them with that. Can you tell me about these actors? There's 4 of them in total. Well, was 4, I should say. There's Natali. She was Livius's understudy. After what happened, she's now taking the lead role tonight. Then we have Claudius. He's getting a bit close to retirement, so now prefers to take on small but impactful roles. Finally, there's Quintilla. She's quite new, so she mostly takes on the non-speaking parts. And all of them were in here earlier. That's right, Livius went out for his pre-performance drinks, as he likes to do. The others all stayed here until after the murder happened. Are you sure none of them could have slipped out at any point? I don't think so. I suppose I do get quite engrossed in my work sometimes, so it's not impossible, but I'm sure I'd have spotted someone going up the stairs. Okay, I think that's everything. The play is well underway, and for all we know, there's still a killer out there. It turns out there's a secret passage from the backstage area into the wine cellar. Someone could have got in and out without anyone else knowing. Not only that, but the backstage area has had a rat problem recently. They have plenty of poison for dealing with them. It's the same poison that could easily have been used to kill Livius. We need to confront the killer. Who do we think it is? Who do we think it is this time? I think it's the understudy. The understudy has the most cause, right? Natalie, you think it's Natalie as well? Or Natalie? I think so as well. Let's wait for Natalie. The understudy that's on stage right now? Why? As a fellow actor, she had access to the secret passage into the wine cellar where Livius was having his pre-performance drink. The rat poison was what she used to kill him. Enough of that would easily kill a man. She poisoned his drink so he could be out... so that she could back out of the cellar before he died. I suppose that makes sense, but she wasn't the only one who had access to that passage. But she was the only one that had wine on her clothes. Wine isn't allowed backstage, so it must have come from the cellar. Constantinius mentioned earlier that she had been in Livia's shadow for some time. Killing him has finally allowed her to take on the leading role. I'd say I'm 80%, maybe 90% sure. What? Am I supposed to attack her? Why have I now got a sword? At last, the vile villain shows themselves. Villain? You're the only villain. The only villain here is you, murderer. I am no murderer. What vexatious allegations you come at me with? I'm not sure about this new character. Are they even allowed in costume? Don't pretend you don't know. Your lies are at an end. I don't think this was in the original script. I've overcome so much. I won't fall at this last hurdle. Lay down your arms. Your heroic deeds are fabrications. Never. No, now swing at me. Uh-oh. Attack! A trap? Where's... What? Am I having to fight all of them? Oh, I thought these were the actual guards for a second. And I was like, wait, I thought that Hutzler and Stradius were my friends. But it's because Claudius is an actor. Flee, ignoble hero. This is great. R.I.P. Bravo! Well, that was a plot twist, wasn't it? Murderer is a bit far. Could you not have just lightly poisoned him? I don't understand. I never poisoned him. I just tripped him. All I wanted was to put him out of action. A small injury would have been enough for him to not perform this evening. He'd had so much to drink, he fell harder than expected, and he wouldn't get up. I fled. I never wanted him to. Oh, Nightally. Come on, let's get you to the guards. So she did actually kill him. But it was an accident? Stradius Hutzer, it's been a surprising pleasure to work with you to solve this case. I can't believe it was all an accident. Lilia, you've done so well. I'd like to apologise for our hasty arrest earlier. Your commitment to helping us has been commendable. To be fair to us, you did seem like the perfect suspect. This is true, I did, but anyway. Ability to use costume needle. Ooh, is that a new item? I'm assuming so. Thieving XP, agility XP, crafting XP. Lovely. Cool. Quest done.